this mount changed the meta in PvP. Now, if you have that mount, or even if you don't have that mount, and if you are playing on global servers in Legend of Mushroom, you are gonna do the same. Don't use the disarm skill anymore, because some players, many players in front, are gonna have that mount, and trying to control the opponent is useless now, because that mount grants to you a controlled immunity for the first 3 to 5 seconds of the battle. And every 10 seconds, you are gonna have the control immunity as well. So if you are using a stun build with a Prophet before, maybe it's not gonna be reliant that time, okay? This is why you might struggle in PvP right now. But don't worry, I'm gonna try to give you some tips to increase your power in PvP after that mount. I'm still on my archer class, and these are the skills I'm using right now. I'm not using the disarm anymore, and I'm using the 2 cactus skills because they help to decrease the attack and the attack speed of the opponent. Before, the disarm was nerfed, because yes, let's call that a nerf. We were using the cactus, the green one, versus warriors, because that was the best way to decrease their damage and to kill them, in fact. That was the only way, in fact. So here you want to lower their attack speed, their attack, using both the cactus skills. But if you are an archer, or if you are using another class, if you don't want to use the cactus skills, you can replace them by the skills that are increasing the most your attack, your damage. In my case, on an archer class, I would recommend to use the Whirly Snare, and to use this one to increase your attack speed. You are gonna have almost the same result at the end in PvP. But it's gonna be different versus a warrior, and so you have better chance to be the opponent if you are using the cactus. So this is why I recommend to use these skills first. So then on your relics, you are not using the disarm anymore, so you don't want to use that relic. Instead, you want to use this one to increase the duration of the 2 cactus skills you are using now. And then the last thing is to have an avian with the no speeding FX. This is the best thing to have because you are going to reduce the duration of Blitz Assault in front by 12.8% with my avian after the level 60. And 12% makes the difference. We are going to check that right now. But right before, let me tell you that nothing changed outside of that on my build. I'm still using the same global combo on my prayer statue, the same talents on my back accessory, the same enchants of course, and the same awakening seals. And these are the items I'm using right now. Of course, this one is the best and by far. No matter the class you are using, with that one you are gonna deal some insane extra damage to the opponent. Then if you have that artifact, this is the best one to use versus a single target. It's almost the equivalent of that new bow, but you don't have a big difference. This one is just gonna give you some extra crit rate, but it doesn't matter to deal some more crits if the target has a lot of crit resistance. So instead, if you are reducing the crit resistance of the target, he's gonna take more damage. So this artifact is still better in my opinion versus a single target. And by the way, if you try both weapons versus a boss, you are gonna have way more damage using this weapon instead of the other. This is why in PvP I am still using the Flaming Carnage. Okay, so let's go in challenge and try to find my friend Sand Noodles. By the way, if you're watching the video, Sand Noodles, I apologize because I'm always attacking you. This is mostly because you are the strongest player of the server, and I can't try my build versus others. They have less power than I, so it's useless to do that. Okay, so let's try to fight versus that guy. This is another Plume Monarch, and he has almost the same build. Let's see how does it work. And be careful, look at the damage immunity on the target. I can attack right now. That was super fast. You can do maybe 1 or 2 extra attacks because you have a lot of combos and you are gonna have way more damage than the opponent if you have the no speeding skill. You know what? Let's check the replay, but slowly. Here, as you can see right now, I still have the damage immunity, but he doesn't have it anymore. I took no damage at all, and he took some damage already. Okay, so here you have a Martial Sage, a 72,000. He has a bit less power than I, but this is a warrior, so I might struggle beating him, so let's try that fight, just to see how it works. So let's check the damage immunity, by the way, the Blitz Assault. Okay, we see absolutely nothing on the screen. And I was able to win that fight without any trouble. Probably a wrong build in front, I suppose. So here you have another Plume Monarch with more power than I. So let's try to see what happens versus that guy. If I can beat him or not. So let's check the damage immunity. Okay, unfortunately we can't see that, but I was able to beat that guy with less power than him. Let's go versus a prophet. 79,000 power, so he has way more power than I. Okay, so I had the damage immunity. I can deal some damage before him, probably because he doesn't have the damage immunity, the no speeding affix on the avian. And I was able to beat him as well. Another Plume Monarch with 80,000 power. So he has way more than I and than the previous one I fought against. So let's try that fight and let's see what happens. He has the new items as well. Okay, I was able to attack before and I was able to kill him. So this is how it works. I'm gonna try versus that warrior. This is a martial sage, way more power than I. One more time. Okay, so I was able to win that. I am not saying that the Plume Monarch is the best class today for PvP, but that new mount changed a lot the gameplay on that class, and thanks to that, now we can do even more damage than before right after the damage immunity, because you are not disarmed anymore. But this is not everything, and I'm gonna show that to you right now. I'm gonna switch my class, I'm gonna use a warrior build, because I tested absolutely everything, every classes. I'm gonna release some videos in the future, but first of all, I want to show that in that video, okay? So let's take a warrior and let me show you my build. So this is my build, full counter and crits. Here I'm using these skills. The goal is to have the damage immunity, of course. You want to use 100 slashes as well. You want to deal some damage to the opponent, so use the smoke bomb and use that to lower the attack of the opponent. And the heal skill is really important for that class. So then I'm using these pals. I'm not forced to use this one, but I'm getting a bit more combo multiplier, counter multiplier, sorry, so this is great for my class, but I have way too much counter. I'm using these relics, the book to lower my damage received, and this one, as before, to increase the duration of the green cactus. I'm using a full counter build on my prayer statue. This is clearly not the best one because I have only triple S here, but one triple S plus, so I can do better than that, but I wanted to try that class. And so I haven't tried to get only triple S plus. So here with my talents, I have these stats. I have these with my enchants. My enchants are not great for now. I don't have the runes I need. Here, this is what I have with my awakening seals. I'm using the magic carpet and the Eye of Raven artifact. The goal is to cast multiple times my skills. It does matter during the run. I'm using this one for my back accessory to deal more damage. It matters a lot. And the same avian because I don't have better than that for that class for now. And I just need to replace my souls before because I don't need to have some extra combo. I really do hope that in the future we are gonna have some different sets here and that it's not gonna cost any diamonds at all. Because it's really annoying. This is the only thing we have in the game that we are forced to change if we want to change our class, to try things. We can't reset for free. This is really annoying. So I was saying that I need some more global counter, so let's go with that and maximize this rune. Okay, and last thing before trying my build, I need to change that, otherwise it's not gonna work. If I'm using the wrong build, I don't have my main stats. Okay, so let's go to challenge again and try to find a Sand Noodles. He is here, that's perfect. And let's see how does it work with a warrior build that time. Okay, so he's taking a lot of damage. I'm almost taking no damage at all. Half HP remaining on me, he is dead. Okay, so now let's try with the Supreme Spirit build. So I have to change everything again. Okay, so now this is my PAL build. Here the goal is to have some PAL combo, PAL crit, but the main stat you want to have, if you want to have a high survivability in PvP, you want to focus on first the regeneration. This is what I have on most of my pieces of gear. And if I show you here, I have a 5.7% regeneration, but I'm gonna have a bit more than that because I want to change my souls as well. Here I don't need this one. But it's increasing my PAL damage though, but this is not the one I want to focus on. Here I want to have some, not more attack, but more HP. I want to survive and have more HP regen, and that stat is gonna help me to have more HP regen. I don't care about this one as well, so I'm gonna reset it. Increase my HP again to 68, I think it's okay. I'm gonna reset this one as well. I don't need to have some more basic attack damage. I'm gonna increase my crit resistance. I'm gonna use these skills. Yes, I'm using the disarm here, but it's a bit different in fact. You are still gonna control the opponent. The goal is not to control the opponent at the beginning of the fight, but over time you're gonna cast that skill really often, and he's not gonna have the control immunity all the time. And doing that, you are gonna reduce the damage you take. So this is a great skill to use. Damage over time with the Blade Pierce. I'm gonna use the clone to have more things to tank the damage taken, the shield to stay longer alive, and the damage immunity to take no damage at all. These are the pals I am using. This is important to have the Panda and the Lizard in first places and to use the right pals, okay? Because if I show you my stats here, I'm getting some extra stuff. With my skills, a 30% chance to deal extra damage based on the target max HP. Panda attacks and combos are gonna heal me, and I'm getting some extra damage resistance. And if I show you the extra stats I'm getting here, 10% more Panda attack speed and 15% more HP. For the other stuff, the goal is to reduce the damage I take and to increase the duration of disarm. I'm using a full HP set on my prayer statue. These are the stats I'm getting with my talents. These are the stats I'm getting with my artifacts, and these are my awakening seals. And for the items, I'm gonna use these. The goal is to survive, so this is why I'm summoning an extra clone. I have an extra shield and skill regen. I'm using that avian, but in fact you have an avian that would fit better for that class. You want to use the dense cloud to have some extra energy regen, 25% more for 5 seconds. Every 13 seconds. This is insane. You are gonna have your skills really often during the battle. But for now, I'm still using the same avian. So now, time to change my build here. Let's use the PAL build. Let's go in PvP again, trying to find sand noodles. And time to fight. PAL class that time. Is it gonna work? So the fight is gonna last really long. For now, I took no damage at all because I heal too much. That class is just insane for that. Okay, so apparently I'm starting to take some damage, but he is taking more damage than I. I have my clone again, he is tanking for me. Disarm again. He is half HP, I'm still full life. But over time, I'm gonna lose some damage resistance. Because you are losing some with your PAL attributes. Given by your class, I mean, by your passive. And this is why I'm starting to take a bit more damage here. But he is almost dead, and I am not. So now I have the disarm again, damage immunity again. And the fight is almost over. And there we are, the fight is done. 3 different classes and 3 victories versus the Plume Monarch. If you are curious to know, I am also trying to build a Darklord class, but for now it's not working well. I need to learn more about that class before. So here I'm gonna switch my class and we are gonna try that quickly. Let's take my mage build. So there the goal is to have a lot of skill crit first, and then it's up to you to decide what stat you want to take. But you can go with a lot of regeneration. If you have a full set with regeneration and the skill crit, you are gonna survive a lot if you have a lot of HP on your class and deal a lot of damage to enemies. I think that this is the way to go. But unfortunately, for now, I have mostly skill crits only and I don't have regen. So I want to try that in the future. But for now, this is what I am using, okay? So here, one more time, I'm using 100 slashes and the damage immunity. And then these skills to increase my damage. I don't think that I'm using the right build. We are gonna check that right after, but I'm still working on it. Then I'm using these pals and these relics. And I tried 2 things. To have mostly skill damage at the prayer statue and to have only some global attack. So I have the 2 builds right now. So of course I have a mage build with my talents based around skill damage and my attack, but I'm lacking some good runes for now because I can't build every class in game. I'm lacking some runes and experience to upgrade everything for the different classes on my artifact. So here you have my awakening seals and the build I have right now. That avian is great. This is probably the best one to have with that class if you want to deal some extra damage, because you are gonna deal some extra AoE skill damage with every skill crit you have, and this is really strong. But I need no speeding on that avian. I don't have it for now, so we are gonna check that. So now I need to change my build here. I need to reset that. Let's put 35. Let's reset that one as well. Let's put 35. And then I want to increase my final attack. Let's put 50 here. Then I have some extra skill damage there, so I want to make sure to upgrade this one. Let's upgrade that to 50 as well. And I have some skill crit damage there, so one more time I need to upgrade this one. So this is my build. Maybe not the best build, but still pretty nice. So time to change my preset here, use my mage build. These are the stats I have for now. 4,600 crit damage. I don't really care about that, but I got some extra skill crit damage with that. 339%, 1,600 skill damage, 52% combo damage resistance. The archers are the biggest threats for a mage in PvP. And these are my final stats. I don't have a lot of HP, and this is bad in my opinion. I'm still working on that. For now, it is not working well, but we are gonna try just to see what it does. So let's try to fight versus the same guy as always, but he's gonna just destroy me. So let's check that. I'm already taking some damage. He was almost dead, but it didn't work. Let's change my prayer statue to see the difference between the skill damage and the attack, and fight again versus him. Does it change anything? And it was almost the same result, but I think that I had just a bit more damage, but it was almost nothing. Not a big difference. So now let's try to change my avian, and instead I'm going to use this one. I'm going to get more stats and no speeding. So let's see the difference. There we are. He's already starting to take some damage, and he was almost dead. So this is the way to go. If on the other avian I can use the no speeding FX, then probably I can beat everyone like that. Okay guys, so that video was to say that every class is really strong in PvP when you know how to build them correctly. But the Plume Monarch, in my opinion, is the weakest class we have in the game right now, because as you can see, by building other classes, I was almost all the time able to beat the best Plume Monarch build we have today. But the Plume Monarch class is the best one by far in PvE. So if you want to progress in the game in PvE, you need to have two classes to build your main class, and alongside your main class, you want to build your archer class. So you are going to have higher scores when you want to progress in PvE. Let me know what you think about that video in the comment below. Have a nice day guys, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.